Hello, SpeedGaming 3. How is everyone doing today?
You just you waiting for someone to respond or what? You got
This is looking, excuse me, this is looking to be like a really exciting match between Gala and Exception. Both runners I know are doing short boost, so yeah, looking like it'll be a fun time.
will be the second time I think that short boost is being featured at all in the bracket stages, and it just so happens that for finally, or the third time, but like I think this is the first time we're seeing one of the French runners in brackets. So just as a quick little background, there are a couple of French runners that are in the brackets at the moment. They're all very close to each other in terms of time. And just as a little fun fact, even though I've been in the scene for quite a while, I have never seen Gala's name before. So this is my first time seeing him in tournament. It might be a lot of people's first time seeing Gala, but he's a very strong runner. And there is no, I mean, it's just surprising to see the amount of names that I haven't seen ever show up and just demonstrate their ability to play this game at a really high level.
I was thinking that exact same thing when I was looking at the bracket stages, and then during qualifiers. There's a lot of outstanding runners, and like you said, some of them I haven't necessarily seen before. So it's awesome to see the variety of people, and especially with so many people in the community.
For sure. And that's not to take away from Exception either. Exception has been someone who's been grinding no major glitches for a really long time, has been sticking with short boost forever when it came out. And I know for a fact that Exception's been doing a lot of practice, hopping streams to stream, finding out different ways to improve his own gameplay. He's been working really hard. So this is going to be a good match, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm well aware that both runners are quite anxious regarding the run killer or the run liver, the short boost. So we'll see how they end up dealing with it when they get to it. But I'm hoping that they're able to string together an early to mid game transition strong enough to where they can feel comfortable going in. I'm not sure if they'll be watching the restreams as they play, but here's the hoping.
I don't think I would be able to watch the restream if I was doing short boost. I think I would turn it off.
It is stressful, right? Not only do you have to do short boost, but
I think I would turn it off because knowing me, I would fail a short boost attempt, fail another short boost attempt, and then look at the restream, and then look at the restream, and then fail another attempt, and then look at the restream. I'm like, am I behind?
All right, both runners are prepared to start, but we are 3 minutes ahead of schedule. So I'm not sure if we'll start now or in 3 minutes, but good luck to both runners as it is.
Yes, very much good luck. As Sat likes to say, may the boosts be short.
Hey, actually, I stole that from Exception.
Oh, did you?
I did.
As Exception likes to say, may the boosts be short.
We got a whole lot of matches coming up in the next couple of days, including today. Lots of strong names battling it out to try to secure deeper runs into the brackets.
Yeah, in both
This-
Mawkin and Thoha, so it's
Yeah.
looking to be a very exciting tournament.
Looks like things
early
are getting on
bracket
their
stage.
way. Got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they are off. Wow,
Fantastic.
it's synchronized really well
Yeah,
too. They
very,
already
very
got it
well
down.
synced. Yeah. And like we said, both of these runners are going to be running short boost, so something that you can expect to see done is they will be skipping the item tutorial, as well as from that moment on making sure that they're not sliding under any unfortunate item triggers. So
It is something that's really annoying to get around when you're starting out, but at this point for these runners, it might just be as natural as breathing. So I would be surprised if we saw an accidental item.
just run space pseudo.
Hey. Wrong stream, buddy. As we move on to one of 4 atoms we'll be finding throughout this this race, I hope. Adam is very annoying to go around, but thankfully, somewhere around the 13-minute mark in Catarrus, there is a movement trick that we can use to skip all of that. But not to get ahead of ourselves, we have the first climb in Artaria, going towards like 3 different tricks in a row.
Yeah,
way
literally
up there.
3. It's good that we're going to Adam. It's good that we are only able to see him 4 times before skipping him for the rest of the game, especially at the higher level like this.
Gala landing 2 out of 3 cloaks, pseudo, exception not far behind with 2 out of 5.
Yeah, because Gala had the shorter load time as well. Ed asked in the chat, is he running on physical? But I do not know the answer of that.
Gala might be running on a slightly worse SD card. Either that or he got hit with a bad switch. Who knows? As Gala clears phase 1 with ease. Exception not far behind at all.
Remind me, is it 26 or 28 missiles for phase 2 and 3 corp?
So phase 1 and phase 2, phase 3 as well share 38 missiles worth of health. If you land 12, which transitions to phase 2, then you need 26 extra to skip phase 3.
Okay. Both runners doing a very good job at Corpius. 212 on both of them, leaving the fight. Very well done.
So unfortunately, the Phantom Cloak isn't the most grandiose of upgrades. Just lets us go through these doors. That's pretty much the main point of it, except for one small time save in Barania. But we tend to ignore that nowadays, since the cloak doesn't really do anything for us other than just doors.
It does make the water skips,
True, the
and then
Jehudi
the slide jumps very easy to do.
It is worth mentioning that by doing Corpius first, which should be the last encounter in Artaria, the runners opened up a shortcut that they'll be able to use for the rest of Artaria. They used that shortcut 3 different times. The first time being when they just used it to get to Corp. And that'll allow them to save upwards of 1.5 minutes of Artaria play over the standard glitchless routing. So we are seeing the fastest version of Artaria called the Magus route. Not really sure why it's called that, honestly. I don't know anything about the history behind that, as both runners, as you can see, they take the upper path in that EMMI zone instead of sliding through the tunnel, which would be faster, but that's the first of the item tutorial checks, so they'll consciously make the effort.
Ooh, both runners getting the water skip first try.
Yeah,
Neck and neck at this point.
That water skip, the Jehudi skip, is not easy at all when it comes to the raw mechanics of it. Gotta do a frame 1, or as close to frame 1 as possible, slope jump, which is very not easy, as Gala trivializes water flat skip, and so does Exception.
Yeah, we're seeing some really stellar movements to start this race off from both of these runners.
Hopefully we can keep it at this level before a short boost comes and ruins everybody, but we'll see, we'll see. Oh man, the better your early game gets in this routing, the more pressure you feel when you get to the ultimate trick. So
the 2 great equalizers, as Oso was calling it.
Absolutely.
It's looking like there's only about 3 seconds separating these runners right now. Literally the duration of the Catarrus Hell run.
Speaking of, both runners pick up the Artaria energy tank, most likely to assist with that Catarrus Hell run that comes later, as well as extra buffer for the short boost cold run that they'll have to do. Here we can see the runners take the second time through that early cloak shortcut. We're pretty much never seeing the main parts of Artaria from this point forward. There is no reason to.
Yeah, it's just all around slower to go through Artaria. Exception getting an unfortunate angle on the blob, but corrected it fairly quickly.
It's equalized by Gala getting trolled by the ceiling as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's the minor things.
Yeah.
You just randomly lose time, or, you know, 2 different mistakes. They might not look the same in severity, but they equalize.
This is exciting. Both of these runners are neck and neck still.
Yeah, I can totally hear that from your voice. This is exciting. Yeah, I'm trolling.
Look here.
As both runners are making their way to the 3rd Atom encounter of the game. I wonder what types of white EMMI quick kills we're going to see coming forward.
Yeah, whether or not they plan to decide to jump over the EMMI. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because this could also bring back time for, or lose time potentially for one of these runners.
As Gala nails Magus Skip the first time. Oh, it looks like Exception's having a bit of difficulty with the setup. Gets it 3rd try, but that's more than enough.
Though, yeah.
Oh, Gala misses the door, has to go up and recover. We want to open that door early because it's a slow opening door.
Yeah.
That way we don't have to open it later.
It takes a little bit of time to go through it later if it's not opened when you're coming down to the CU room.
Looks like both runners have a fine white CU fight. It is worth mentioning that if you have the missiles to spare, it is much faster to use the missiles over any sort of beam mashing on the brain, but only for the white CU, which is why you'll see both of them use it. As Gala and Exception are going to try to get very good movement going up towards the white EMMI.
Let's see if Gala is able to. Gala able to plant.
Decision made by Exception there. I would not have trusted that either.
I think I lagged out a bit. Did both of them get the plant?
Exception did a jump over.
Jump over? Okay.
I would have made the same decision in his position.
Okay. Yeah, I know Gala was able to plant and then slid underneath, but I wasn't able to catch Exception.
Given the differences in everything that happened in this split, you'd expect Exception to be slightly more behind, but actually, Exception's only 4 seconds behind. The lead hasn't really grown any bigger at all, so they'll be both entering Catarrus at approximately the same time. This race is still extremely close. Any amount of variant... Oh, I should stop. Commentator's curse.
Commentator's curse, indeed. Despite that, it is still relatively close. That only adds probably 2-ish seconds, so...
You know, every time I was gonna say, you know, every time I talk in moments like these, about moments like these, usually something wrong happens. Maybe I should retire. As Gala is going for the Catarrus elevator short, I almost said short boost. D boost gets it perfectly.
Exception is opt-in to not take it.
I wonder if the trick has been giving him pause recently. Unfortunately, this results in a very large amount of time just gone. Gala hits the A button for the elevator at around 9:19 to 9:20. Exception's going to hit it at around 9:30. So the runners are now 10 seconds apart. Fortunately for Exception, at the very least, Catarrus has a lot of small obstacles, and also one very large obstacle
Yeah,
that
very large.
can very easily result in a huge swing, depending on which way the runners decide to go with it. Of course, we're talking about the first major race equalizer, Adam Skip. I've never heard French Adam before.
Actually, neither have I. That is a very good point.
I wish that's how he sounded like always. Maybe I'd listen to him more if that was the case. We're going to be seeing Gala. I think we're going to be seeing Gala try to go for the super boost, the damage boost to skip the magnet railing up there. Yep, this is the arc candy setup from what I remember. Very well done.
Very good super boost.
I think it would be it would be surprising. Yep, and Exception goes for the setup that I like to do. Perfect.
That's the one that I prefer. Yeah.
Let's go. Represent.
Very one. Yeah. Very. Both runners get the damage super boost. Gala in the hell run at the moment. Melee and off. Gets through without a problem. And Exception is opting to not do the hell run. Interesting.
That's going to cost Exception roughly 2.5 seconds going in. However, I think he's more focused on consistency and not introducing random fail states into his run.
Probably.
Especially since there is a big fail state later. So.
Might also be his health. He might have felt like he didn't have enough health to get through it, but I'm not sure. Gala opting to not go hell pseudo.
I would be very surprised if anybody goes for hell pseudo realistically in this tournament. Unless you know that your opponent also goes for it, there is almost no reason to do it. So for those wondering, hell pseudo is a pseudo wave in which you can shoot the switch that Exception is currently on. Oh, and battling apparently from below in the hell room. The issue is, of course, the room is very hot, and the angle at which you need to shoot the button with, plus the position at which you need to release the shot, it's very difficult.
Yeah,
you only get 3 attempts.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. Like Sat said, especially because you only get the 3 attempts.
Yeah, as you get 4 if you have the extra Atari energy tank, but if you don't, you have 3. So it would be very surprising if anyone goes for it at all, unless you know that you have to for your opponent.
Gala heading down to Adam Skip now. We'll see if he's able to get it.
Looks like he's consistently late on the first 2. Hopefully he'll recover. But this is giving time for Exception to catch up.
Ooh, oh, I thought that one might have it.
And Gala
gets... that is 5th try, I believe.
And Exception gets it in too. Yep.
Nice, very good. I thought it might be first, but...
he was very close on the first attempt, but he was slightly late.
Yeah, that's going to bring a lot of time back for Exception.
Just like that, we have another extremely close race. I assume both runners are breathing easy for the time being, but I think tensions will rise once again in roughly 20 minutes.
Yeah, roughly.
Roughly, I would hope.
On their way to short boost.
It might seem like we're making a pretty big deal out of it, but unfortunately it is a big deal in this routing. I doubt either of them are going to circumvent it by going the early space route, so it's far too much time to give up.
Yeah, especially considering they've both already skipped the item tutorial, and going for space now would be proccing the item tutorial on the way to the grapple beam, so...
A particularly deadly item tutorial, for some reason.
Very deadly.
Come on, I thought it was supposed to help me improve, not defeat me on the spot. Come on. Both runners showcasing fluid movement going in. Looks like Exception had a bit of a battle with the ledge, but recovers quickly. Fortunately, I think Unfortunately for Exception, I think Gala has made approximately 0 movement mistakes after Adam skip. So
Yeah,
he's going to be blazing ahead now.
Gala is running very crisp right now.
Like that Gala is going to get a, what is this? A 15:28 A press Catarrus? A really good time.
Very good time for Catarrus. 29.
Exception is only around 8 seconds behind. Not that big of a deal. Both runners are still neck and neck.
About 10, yeah. Yeah, Exception's definitely getting feeling a little bit of relief after the Adam skip tries.
For sure. This lead could have been a little bit longer, or perhaps way too long. So, Exception getting around Adam skip in 2 tries, for sure a huge weight lifted off his shoulders.
Oh, absolutely. Heading into Dyron now for the wide beam. A lot of this is just movement, so it'll be nice to see what kind of movement strats these runners will go for.
Looks like Gala was electing to try to destroy what I like to call Sonic the Hedgehogs, the blue little saw enemies that come out of the ground on the way down into Dyron, and got hit by pretty much everything, but Exception
Blue
jumps over the first one. Yeah, I mean,
that's a fantastic name. I'm going to start calling them that.
Yeah, they're like little hedgehog buzzsaws. They're blue.
I still need a name for them, so they're now Sonics.
Yeah, I call them Sonics, man. It's a very small strategy difference there. Exception jumps over the first one as opposed to trying to gamble for good spawn RNG on the Sonics. Because they require a charge beam and a missile to defeat, but not anymore with the acquisition of the wide beam. Pretty much everything dies with a close range shotgun blast in the face. So we're probably not going to see much standing in the way, except for gravity, as Gala manages to fall in the big room. Misses the melee off the ledge.
Okay. I wasn't sure if he did miss it or if he elected to outright go underneath.
It's the same strat I use, and I've made that mistake plenty of times, so I know exactly how that feels.
I'll normally just try to coyote off of the first ledge rather than go on top.
The wide beam blocks give neither runner any problems whatsoever. These blocks are notorious for being giga trolls.
Yeah, just like the worst items in the game.
Hey, if there were items,
blockers,
I should pick them up. So
blockers, yeah. The wide beam bots hitboxes are so janky. It is kind of infuriating at times. So now both runners are on their way back to Catarrus to take out the green EMMI and get the Morph Ball ability. Ordinarily, the Morph Ball is one of the first items that you get in a Metroid game, but this game kind of broke the status quo, and you get it, well, as you're seeing, about 21-ish minutes into the run, about an hour-ish, hour and a half casually.
I wonder how both runners are doing pace-wise compared to their own personal best. These runs are looking really crisp.
Yeah, they really are. Like, outside of the Adam skip attempts, they are both looking very crisp.
As Exception and Gala take down the CU, it's worth noting that the opening charge shot used on the CUs can be charged before you even enter the room, saving a missile's worth of damage. We'll be seeing Gala do a safer strat from what I presume right here. This strat is the safest strat. It looks really scary, but trust me, the EMMI gets nowhere. I mean, it kind of does get close, but not in terms of threat level. exception will probably do the same kill. There is a different kill here called Professor Stupid, but as the name implies, it's a very dumb kill. Only 2 people go for it in tournament. Or 3, actually. Carter also goes for it. Tex does a slightly different setup from what I recall. His own setup. I'm excited to see Arcandy's next match. On Twitter, Arcandy did mention that he has a different setup for it.
Oh, interesting.
I wish I could read that.
So about 15 or so seconds are separating these runners right now.
Looks like Gala made up time, even with the exit Dyron error that he made in the big room. Over exception, which is... It's funny. Races like these, where you don't really see too many major mistakes between the runners, it's funny how even 5 seconds can just come and go at points, as Gala does elect to take the Missile 10 under red TP. This is safety net for Kraid coming up.
It also means that he won't have to collect one of the Missile Plus tanks before and after gravity, so...
Exception does the same.
Both runners favoring that safety for Kraid.
It is a really good decision to make, and one that quite a few people are battling with as they enter the tournament. Would you rather deal with a slightly faster Missile 10 later into the run, and battle potentially with bad RNG on Kraid, or just take the 1 second loss right now and safeguard all attempts at Kraid wasting your time in around 4 or 5 minutes?
Yeah, it kind of makes me think about as we see Gala having to not slide under that tower. He slides off the first platform from the red teleporter and then morphs underneath it. That's another item tutorial trigger. We'll see Exception here do the exact same, because that item tutorial is like 6 seconds of time lost in this short boost route.
For those wondering how the runners are able to identify whether there is a item tutorial in their way, you can look at the minimap and see if there is a white rectangle on the map as Exception is being giga-griefed by that ledge. I have never seen that ever be an issue for anybody. It looks like the tournament's bringing out a lot of bad behavior from the terrain. Gala moves through Varia climb with very little trouble. It looks like there's a lot of chaos happening here, but trust me, it takes a very long time for the heat to rise and cause damage.
I remember my first playthrough of this when I was just casually playing it, and I got this, and the music started playing, and I was like, wait, what's happening? And then the heat started rising, and I was like, oh no!
As Gala and Exception, as Hobbit would say, both change into their orange pajamas. Best suit design? Or what?
I think it's alright. This Varia suit is leaving a little bit to be desired, but...
Come on, which one? Metro Prime? Is that the one you're thinking about?
Yeah, Prime's is pretty
Metroid?
good. Prime's is pretty good. I just recently got done playing a 100% of Prime yesterday, so...
Really? Yesterday was the anniversary.
I'm a bit biased.
The bias is real.
This game does have the best gravity suit design, though.
I zoned out. You said, yeah, okay, yeah. You know what? You're right. You're right. Dread's gravity suit is among the best designs, in my opinion, of any suit design.
We'll see Gala start heading down to Kraid's lair, I guess you could call it. Unfortunate ledge grab, but he should be alright with this little tiny movement section before the boss. Meanwhile, Exception just gets out of the red teleporter and he'll be on his way just as Gala is.
Might notice that this is one of the few times where both runners will completely ignore the rock enemies, the Dwayne the Rock Johnsons, as we call them.
Dwayne's, that's fantastic.
Gala entering Kraid at 24-24.
And it'll be also interesting to see very interesting strat from Gala. Electing for the short charges instead of the missiles, probably wanting to ensure that he has the missiles for phase 2.
Unfortunately, a couple of those reps were missed, causing it to equalize with the regular strat. Gala attempted to go for the single wall, jumps off the wall, misses it a couple times, but gets blessed by valuable RNG.
Kind of bailed out by the RNG there from the IWJ attempts. So exception now in phase 1 of Kraid. And is electing to not go for the jumps.
Gala leaves at 25:09. We'll see the time at which Exception manages to leave Kraid, but the difference in strategies might be enough for Gala to take a commanding lead.
Dyron is asking in the chat, Space Jump Pseudo is still part of the route. Not for this route. This route is running the short boost, NMG style.
Oh, never mind.
Wow. I did not see that.
Unfortunately, with the Kraid disparity, Exception is now close to 30 seconds behind on the clock. 32 seconds behind, if I recall correctly. So that lead, Kraid, just like that. One boss fight.
Yes, this is going to be the short boost route. Around 33 minutes after the yellow EMMI, 34 minutes after the yellow EMMI, we'll see both of these runners, rather than go for the... So right here, normally when Gala gets out of the purple teleporter, normally for the early space route, you would head right to go back to Artaria to grab Grapple Beam. But these runners are going to be heading left to continue on, because they'll get Grapple Beam after they get the speed booster, because after that they need the grapple beam to open the short boost door, because it is a grapple beam door.
We'll see which yellow EMMI spawn Gala gets here. Gala gets a favorable spawn.
Very nice spawn.
So now where the ledge that Gala just wrapped around, the yellow EMMI would be there on the bad spawn, but thankfully the yellow EMMI gives mercy this time around. So Gala gets to move through without any hassle at all.
I really like the wall jump strat right there, as opposed to going for the coyote. That is very precise. I love it. Knowing me, I think that's what I would probably try to do on this route as well, as opposed to the coyote. It looks really cool.
Looks like Exception got the unfavorable spawn, but he does know the strat to get around it. The EMMI sees him as well, which causes the EMMI to stop for a moment. Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, very good melee.
Off and recovers. He's gonna lose some
nice
time from this, but it is more favorable than having to reset back after watching the game over screen.
Very good recovery from Exception. Very well done. We see Gala just got the bombs. Exception still having to head to the generator to turn the lights on. Sat, do you want to know a mind-blowing fact right here?
What's up?
The generators right here, they all look like they have googly eyes. Look at that.
I will never unsee this. Thanks for that.
You're very welcome.
Damn it. You see Gala there stays in morph, entering that morphball tunnel. It would normally be that we would slide into them, but there's another item tutorial there. Exception picks up bombs at 28:34 on the fanfare split. I think this is 50 seconds behind now compared to Gala.
Yeah, despite the time difference, he is still having a really good run, despite the
for sure.
Unfortunate. Gala gets the hole-in-one on the way to Barenia 1.
Gala is playing out of his mind right now.
Yeah, Gala is on one heck of a run. Gala has the strats. It turns out French is faster. You can mash at him faster.
If that was actually true, I'm not sure if we would allow that, but hey.
That's nuts. I'm kidding. I'm just playing. But that would be interesting.
I think in Metroid Fusion, the Chinese version of the game has like multiple seconds worth of time save on their Atom encounters.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, since we don't have the grapple beam in this routing, we can't take any grapple block shortcuts through Berenia 1, so we're going to have to take the underwater section in Berenia 1 right here. It's a deceptively difficult room to traverse through. Gala making it look pretty easy.
Which is interesting because despite the slower routing, obviously, since you have to go underneath it, the route itself with the time save from having the screw attack more than makes up for it.
Here's another difference in the routes here. Gala is forced to do a coyote jump over the pit instead of having to grab the magnet. With early grapple, you'd be able to recover a bad coyote by grappling the ceiling. So it's a small tense moment there. The bat likes to be a troll as well.
Yeah. On to another tense moment in the run here for Gala, where he will be going for backdoor flash. See his strat for it.
I can't believe that worked.
I cannot believe that worked either.
Wow.
That was crazy. I thought one of those bombs might be a little bit too late, but very, very well done from Gala, getting backdoor flash first try.
It might look somewhat boring, but it is a very difficult trick, especially when rhythm goes against you. The bombs have to be placed at a certain position, at a certain rhythm. Any variance in either can spell doom, and you might have to start again, depending on when you fail.
Getting sucked into the vacuum.
We're going to see Gala going for the pause buffer double turnaround crouch underwater pseudos. I promise I didn't just bite my own tongue. That's unfortunately the name that we have to delegate. Gets them perfectly.
Say that again? The pause buffer...
Pause buffer crouch double turnaround underwater pseudos.
That is insane.
Hey, it's literally what happens.
Meanwhile, Exception will be going for a little bit of an older strat with the backdoor flash. This is actually what I was doing up until recently.
Yeah, I wonder who helped you out with that.
Oh, I wonder.
Looks like the bombs are giving Exception a bit of pause. Looks just like we said earlier, the rhythm bit of this trick is what matters the most, as Exception finally gathers the rhythm in his mind and manages to put them down the way he wants. It is a slap in the face to any runner when backdoor flash gives trouble, especially in this route, because in around 4 minutes, Gala will be meeting another slap in the face trick.
Yeah, the next great equalizer of this category.
Remember when we talked about 35 minutes in? It's coming. It's fast approaching. Upon talking with both runners right before the run in the race time chat, both runners said that they were a little nervous about this trick. But even in a tournament setting, any attempt done at the trick is just an extension of your last done practice, so hopefully it'll all go well.
Good pseudos from Exception on the way heading out back to Dyron. Good CU kill from Gala. Gala elected to not do the melee on this platform for the setup.
Yeah, it's a minor frame save, but the way that Gala did it, this is a free kill.
Yeah, I can't. I've tried it a couple times. I can't get the timing on it, so I've just elected to not do it.
It honestly just has to do with the fact that the camera angle is closer, so your stick aim is a little bit weird.
I see.
Gala makes quick work of the yellow EMMI. That kill might look very unassuming, but if you miss a couple of shots on the faceplate, the EMMI can very quickly go out of control. Remember that this is the EMMI that moves at the same running speed as Samus. So if you don't hit it for even a little bit, it'll just zoom towards you. It's caused quite a bit of embarrassment for a lot of runners in the past.
Yeah. Gala will now, this is going to be the biggest deviation from the space routes and the short boost route. Gala will be making his way back to, very good save from Gala. But Gala will now be making his way back to Artaria to now grab the grapple beam and head to short boost. Ordinarily with the space jump route, with the space jump route, you would be heading to Ferenia now to talk and then beat the Robot Chozo for Quiet Robe. But again, that is a little slower than going for the short boost route.
You'll notice that Gala picks up an E-Tank. This is probably the last E-Tank we'll see from both runners. I have no doubt in my mind that Exception will also be picking up that energy tank. And also, while Gala was doing the speed keep to get to the LTP, notice that he decided to do a jump off the platform to break some blocks on the way down. That is specifically for the split right after the short boost split, because we'll be needing to enter that area afterward. Now Gala is entering the short boost zone. Best of luck to him as Exception picks up the speed booster and will be joining him shortly. Holding my breath, man. I hate watching short boost claim victims, so hopefully not today.
Yeah, I remember that qualifier where so many people dropped out at around the same time. We were all wondering what happened, and it was like, oh, look at the time, it's short boost. So Exception is grabbing this energy tank. Like Sat said, this is presumably the final energy tank that these runners will grab. And it is just for short boost safety. On top of having to do one of the hardest tricks in the game, you have to do it in a cold room where you are constantly taking damage. So it is a bit of a nerve-wracking, volatile trick.
For those who might be watching this race as their first time, the short boost that we're talking about is a trick very similar to that of Super Metroid's short charge, or I don't know what the term is.
The short charge, yeah.
Yeah, short charge. Where instead of tapping the run button at certain intervals at the correct magic frames, we have to do a flash shift backwards towards a wall or a ledge and press down before we would complete the flash shift. The game would want to put us at the correct flash distance. So during the pause, the game tries to push us back. We'll take that moment to hold forward and we'll fight against that pushback. But it allows us to walk sooner and tread the same ground twice, allowing us to get speed booster.
A little bit. Yeah, so a little bit more complicated than the quote-unquote simple stutter tap from SM, but it is, in essence, doing the exact same thing.
Easy to miss, but Gala did just try to go for the one-trip short boost attempt. Misses it, so...
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a runner do that.
Looks like Gala's also doing the pause buffer method here. So what's going on here is he's gonna get it here, but what we're looking at here is Gala is hunting for a very specific frame to input his next set of, inputs for the trick to complete. And those pause buffers are like a frame in distance, so it's very difficult.
Very well done by Gala, though, getting the short boost so quickly.
Yeah, the pause buffers essentially move the trick from a very difficult down to left input to don't slip while you're unpausing. So both are difficult in their own rights. Gala gets through it in 3 tries, technically.
Pause buffering in this game is just nuts.
A very powerful mechanic. We use it in unrestricted as well to make another frame perfect trick a lot easier.
Exception will now be attempting his short boost attempts.
Exception goes for the morph ledge method instead. Oh, first try! Wow! Oh no!
One frame too soon for Exception.
Oh no! He got the best lenient short boost, but unfortunately, stores early.
Hopefully that doesn't get into his head. A little bit too late.
Oh no, as Gala is ascending through Artaria to get back to the LTP, while Exception is stuck at short boost.
We'll see if he can get it this time. He gets another good looking... Oh no.
Yeah, he knew that it wasn't going to be anything promising. This is... Oh no.
Yeah, unfortunately this is the trick. This is how volatile that this trick can be, unfortunately. So... sometimes you have it in your favor, sometimes it's this.
Any deviation in your down input, any deviation in your left input can cause the forward-backward walking to go wrong. You could fall off the ledge. You can get stuck in an animation while falling off the ledge, forcing a death. You could just not have enough space to move. Everything can go wrong, unfortunately.
This is looking unfortunate for
This
exception.
one looks good.
Oh, stored too early again. Meanwhile, Gala is well on his way back into Dyron, head into Quiet Robe in Ferenia now. So this fight will not take very long at all with the screw attack. So that one looks good.
With every passive missed attempt on short boost, a part of your soul dies. No matter whether you're the runner, whether you're watching, whether you're commentating. I just feel the pain. I've been here too many times myself. Yeah,
this is actually why I don't run the short boost route. I see this and it's like this is rough. I don't know how much I'd be able to handle this for like resetting and never doing it again. Gala gets the Quiet Robe keep, very well done. And like I mentioned, this fight is essentially nothing with the screw attack. It goes down very quickly compared to the other Chozo soldiers.
Oh no, Exception gets airwalk, but he has enough energy to get through. That's the little quirk I mentioned. If you can walk off the ledge but get stuck in an animation, we call that airwalking. If you have anywhere less than 3 full energy tanks of HP, you will instantly die if the door closes on you.
Oh, this is unfortunate.
Exception is not giving up, however.
Yeah, you really gotta commend the fortitude, and he finally gets it.
Finish it out, finish it out. Yes!
Good.
Exception unlocks the rest of the game going forward.
You gotta commend the fortitude for continuing to get the attempts.
It likely comes as no surprise to Exception, or not no surprise, but it comes as pretty much nothing new here. With the amount of time that he spent on short boost, Gala is likely very far ahead, even if he's not following the restream. But he's gonna play his best anyway. Such is the spirit of the tournament. So, like Fortify said, I'd like to give Exception a huge round of applause for just continuing at all. It can be very dispiriting to lose any sort of pace to short boost.
Especially such a large amount of pace like that, because Exception was on a very good pace up until short boost, so it'll be nice to see how he recovers from that.
Very well done on
That
the speed keep.
Yeah, that speed keep into the spark is one of my favorites movements of this route. That diagonal spark just looks very cool. Gala, meanwhile, entering Verenia 2, one of the more difficult movement sections of this category.
Oh,
ooh, doesn't get the...
Picks up the rest of it though. So what Gala was trying to do when after dropping down into Verenia was to do a slide off the ledge into a morph, which releases a charge shot to open the door so it can keep the speed all the way into the next room. I'm actually not sure why it didn't work. Because it looked like it was going to.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Worst pseudos in the game for Gala right here. Gets them first try, so very well done. Very good Berenia Tower as well, so Gala is moving. Ooh, Exception unfortunately picks up the missile after the yellow teleporter.
We need elevator music. You trying to sing
Yeah.
for us?
Ooh, I don't know, man. The pipes haven't been fully warmed up.
Oh, come on. Should have woken up earlier then. Got some warm up in.
You're right, my mistake.
Looks like the wall gave Gala some pause.
Yeah, that was interesting. What happened right there?
As Gala elects to kiss the wall for a couple seconds, confusing the audience. But hey, going back into doing the same to the Govern Robo instead.
Ooh, an exception just barely misses the speed keep. Gala electing for that gravity grab. Is that actually faster than just falling down?
Yeah, the downwards grapple cancel is slightly faster if done correctly.
Interesting.
Lots of little minutia that runners hunt for while they're trying to improve. Looks like Gala has been doing his homework.
Yeah, that seems like it would just be more of a I just like doing this, but
nah, it has faster
just falling.
Yeah, it has faster velocity than just falling.
Which makes sense.
Gala gets the pocket nukes, as I like to call them, the super missiles. For some reason, the super missiles are obsoleted nearly immediately by the ice missiles in like 4
it's really
minutes,
sad. The supers are probably Samus's strongest weapon aside from the plasma and wave beam itself, but it's just in Fusion and in this game, the ice missiles have just kind of killed it.
Which is so sad. The visual effects in the supers are beautiful.
Yeah, they really are. And I mean, it makes sense lore-wise, but I was actually having this discussion in my chat with someone, I believe yesterday. Someone was hoping if there's a Metroid 6 and all that, we see the return of the ice beam, which would be a lot of fun, seeing the return of it eventually. Hopefully Samus can get over whatever she deals with.
As we see Exception heading towards Berenia as well. He is currently... We're not even talking about minutes anymore. He's like 3 zones behind.
Yeah, literally.
But...
Exception finally making it into Berenia 2 as Gala is in Elune, getting ready to hit the plasma beam.
The DLC zone, in my opinion. Oh, I'm stealing that. Wow. The one shot into the quick charge, that is better than standing there and shooting.
That is actually, yeah. Right here, they are more item tutorial. Oh, yeah, he triggers the item tutorial. Theirs was one of the item tutorial triggers, so
that's how long it takes.
He ends up losing about 6 seconds, but it is gonna be nice to not have to worry about that anymore if you're Gala. It sucks that it triggered, but he's not gonna have to worry about it anymore. A short boost behind, says Mindstormer in the chat.
If only. I'm gonna see one of my favorite speed keeps of all time. Oh, I really should never talk in these situations. You want to handle any of that from now on?
You're now banned.
No, man, I swear, I'm not the one holding the controller. It's not my fault. I might will it to existence, but hey.
The caster curse is real.
In every appearance I've made on SpeedGaming so far, I've always given some sort of caster curse, so...
Good Berenia Tower from Exception. Very well done fight from Gala for this, the first of a couple of full-on Chozo Soldier fights, not just robots. Yeah, that speed keep, though, that you were mentioning, that is one of my favorite speed keeps in the game. It is a very, very smooth speed keep if done in its entirety.
Speaking of speed, we just saw Gala do the greatest time save ever. That's what I like to call it. Where you do a Shine Spark across the bridge, and then you press the R button while holding a charge at very specific points in order to release a charge during the Shine Spark. We call that Spark Shotting. Uses it twice to get through the door, and to bonk on the door while also opening it.
Yeah, it's a very...
at least we got one of them.
It's a very cool-looking strat, especially because that bridge was the crash bridge back in the day. So it's very good that the crashes have been resolved and that it doesn't happen anymore.
Looks like Exception's having a bit of difficulty entering Gavra into the robo, but recovers.
Gala entering another difficult speed keep right here to the ice enemy.
Okay.
Still gets the short charge.
Exception at the very
Spark.
least gets the spark on the robot as Gala has to deal with a funky EMMI spawn, but gets around it.
Ooh, can he? Okay.
Yep, Gala's out of there. See you
Gala
later, Blue
is
EMMI.
indeed out of there.
Next time we see you, we're gonna be blasting your face off.
Yeah, that EMMI has my number, so I'm always happy when other runners are able to get past it with little to no difficulties.
Gala will open that charge door prematurely. This is important for manipulating the EMMI's position during the fight after the CU. Speaking of the CU, we can see that Gala is able to Shine Spark the shell to immediately destroy it, and then Screw Attack the brain to immediately defeat it. And
Yeah,
we're
another one of those
later as well.
Yeah, another one of those time saves that the short boost route provides, because ordinarily you only have short boost with enough time, or a screw attack I should say, you only have screw attack for one CU fight, but with this you have it for all of the others post the yellow EMMI, so it does end up saving time with the CU kills as well.
As Exception makes his way into Elun, 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 Eln, I don't know.
Eln.
I wonder what the actual pronunciation for the zone is.
I've just always called it Elun, but Elun, Elun, I always know what people are referring to.
Well, I'll just call it the DLC zone. How about that?
Fair.
Why does it exist?
To be honest, I'm pretty sure that it is, like, lore-wise, I think it's just a part of Ferenia that has been quarantined off.
That's true.
So Gala, right here, ordinarily this would be where the space jump runners would do an early space, would head to the space jump, but with the short boost again, he is heading right to Gravity Suit right now.
Instead of doing a Shine Spark across the gap, Gala takes a shortcut with the Screw Attack, another bounty granted by the Screw Attack.
Yeah, having the screw attack at this point in the game really opens the game up considerably. So, on top of the not having to go back for it, time save, it's just you can kill the CUs faster, the robot Chozo soldiers the faster, etc., etc., etc. It opens up the game completely.
Exception gets the Plasma Beam. I would be surprised if he does not go for the Elon Speed Keep going to the Warrior, so we'll see if he can connect that on his end.
Yeah, because the Speed Keep is a very nice one. Ooh,
so
he's not. He doesn't have enough room.
2 blocks, yeah. He might not be comfortable with that spacing. It is technically possible, but it's much more challenging.
But it is pretty tight, yeah. Gala, meanwhile, heading into the Verenia Speed Booster puzzle for early gravity.
Yep.
And gets the very well job. Very job well done.
Very well job.
English is my first language, by the way.
Fun fact, this would not be the only intended sequence break that we use in this routing, but unfortunately the other one is early grapple, and we ditched that in favor of short boost. So
I am really liking the shot and then charged that Gala is doing. I think you're right, Sad. I think I'm gonna steal that.
Yeah, it gives more leniency to get what we like to call god blobs. Normally, it would take 5 diffusion shots to remove those from the game, but if you get lucky and you get god blobs, which that is technically a setup for, you can only need to use 3, which saves a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, a considerable. So coming up right here, this is one of the downsides of the short boost route. Unfortunately, with space at this point, you would have the time to just be able to space up to the Berenia twins, but without them, you have to elect to go for this slightly challenging speed booster spark, and Gala gets it first try. So
I remember there's a runner out there who got stuck on this for a while. Any comments?
Yeah, his name is Fortify, and he's bad at the game.
Exception linking the full speed keep on his end as well. Going towards the blue EMMI. Connects it all the way while avoiding the blue EMMI. So.
Yeah, very good job from Exception. Very good twins fight from Gala. Gala will now be heading back to Gavarin for the Golzuna fight to get the cross bombs. It'll be interesting to see his Golzuna quick kill method, and then what he does if he ends up failing it.
Let's not jinx anybody here.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Ooh, nice bombs from Exception. I think I prefer those bombs as opposed to going for the wall kick into the flash for the screw attack.
Yeah, if you don't insta-spark the shell, you have to do bombs. Otherwise the turrets will spawn. Exception doing a different variation of the climb towards the position to kill the blue EMMI here. I believe Gala did an upright spark. Exception does the wall 2 flashes. And now we're going to be entering Gorgonzola. You'll see the strategy here.
Ooh, he's going for the figure 8.
And that looks like it's going to connect.
Very well done.
That is really easy.
That kill looks so cool when it's done. I cannot get over how cool that kill looks.
That looks so easy.
It does, right? It is absolutely not for those watching. That is a lot more nuanced than it looks. One of these things that Gala won't have to worry about right here. This is another item trigger that he doesn't have to worry about since he triggered the one in Elune. Unfortunately, he misses the cross-bomb puzzle. This is one of the worst rooms in the game. Many rooms in this game have the potential to take title of worst room in the game, but that is definitely one of the contenders.
Crossbomb proving once again that it is the worst upgrade in the game. It offers nothing.
It's so... the developers had a very good idea with cross bombs. It's just not very well executed in my humble, not so humble opinion.
I mean, if it has the fail chance like it showed for Gala, come on. I mean, if there is one good thing about cross bombs, it does do a missile's worth of damage on Ravenbeak.
That is true. That is true. Exception will be heading to Berenia now for the gravity suit. Meanwhile, Gala is heading into Hanubia. Hanubia is where we'll see another one of the, what did you call them? The spark shots?
Yep, greatest time save of all time, part 2. Gets perfectly done.
I think force of habit right there from Gala. He morphed into the tunnel.
Yeah, there's an item tutorial above him in that tunnel, but I think he forgot that he triggered it in Elon this time.
Yeah, I think just force of habit. Ooh, Exception not getting the store on the Berenia puzzle on the first go around, gets it the second.
And completes early gravity. It cannot be understated, the fact that Exception is just not giving up, despite the odds. This is huge respect on my end, so...
Destructor saying in the chat, Gala hasn't streamed much before this tournament. If anyone wants some context, he failed a mid-110 pace yesterday. His skill ceiling is scary. Judging from what we're seeing from Gala at the moment, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Gala is looking very, very strong.
Oh, unfortunately, Gala missed the door.
Yeah, so I was just about to comment on that.
Yeah, so he goes for a charge shot there to open the one-way door going towards where we would go for Space Stomp after Sword Missiles coming up, but the door got missed somehow. It was very close to the door. I'm surprised that the beams despawned or whatever.
Or whatever, exactly.
Or whatever. Sometimes the game...
It's very interesting how he didn't get that door open.
Yeah, sometimes the result you get in the game is just an oh whatever moment.
A lot of my runs lately have just been oh whatevers.
As Exception, unlike you, clears the gravity tower.
Oh my god, dude. I was on like a minute and 30-second ahead on an all bosses run, and that just annihilated it. It's not even a hard trick either.
Unfortunately, the bots are giving Exception some pause as Gala enters to do a quick SQ kill setup. The one time where cross arms are worth anything, and gets the double bonk on the core X for spawning for a phase
very good two-phase from Gala for SQ. SQ is one of the most frustrating bosses for the, which is one way to put it, in casual play of this game, but makes it look very easy with the 2-round there.
Yeah, that was a textbook SQ fight. The only way you can get anywhere better than that is with the one-face kill that I'm pretty sure literally nobody except B-Dog is going for. It is a disgustingly difficult
Yeah,
kill.
the 1-round SQ is just insane.
Oh wow, I've never seen that. That's mine. I have never seen that in my life. That is mine from now on.
That's mine. You heard it here.
Speed
Gaming, you heard it here. Sat has now claimed it. B-Dog, look out.
Oh man, Gala entering the Perennia twin bots fight. Given the way that he conducted the Perennia bots fight, I would assume that this fight gives him no trouble at all.
Yeah, this fight is pretty free in my opinion compared to the Perennia twins.
As you can see here, Gala has to wait for that door to open because it didn't open before.
Exception now heading into Golzuna.
Looks
also
like he's
going
also
for the figure 8.
Gets the first run through. Part 2 complete and part 3 sold.
I might start doing that because obviously the Golzuna.
No! Starts the spark like 2 or 3 frames too early, and now has to deal with going around Golzuna and the waffles without a jump upgrade.
Yeah, because this is without space. This is the hundo.
Oh no.
Oh, exception. That is an unfortunate loss from exception.
Golzuna showing once again that it can and will be a nuisance, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna mention the Golzuna quick kill that I do is a little bit dated. It's the one that Oates was doing when he was still running the game and still had world record. But it's just consistent, which is why I still do it. So I always have very little issues getting through Golzuna nowadays because of the amount of time that I put into Golzuna. But that figure 8 is very tempting at the moment to learn and implement.
Gala makes quick work of the purple CU, much like with the blue CU, with the spark on the shell and the screw attack on the brain. We're going to be seeing the quicker variation of the purple EMMI kill here. You can only miss 4 of the shots coming in before the kill becomes impossible. The accuracy is looking good here.
Yeah, it's looking really good. To be honest, I think the deep blue kill, doing the deep blue a couple times, has kind of made this kill a little bit easier for me to comprehend, because before it was very like, how are these runners doing this?
Yeah, so it's a little difficult to like conceptualize, but for some reason, if you hit the back of the neck, it also counts as the faceplate. So the target's a lot bigger than one would think.
Yeah.
Regardless, Gala makes it look free.
Yeah, it does. Meanwhile, Exception now heading into Hanubia for a little detour before heading back into Perennia. So at this point, it is looking pretty clear at this point. They are about an entire area behind, or Exception is about an entire area behind at this point. Still an outstanding run though. 103 at this time is nothing to be upset about.
Exception's been playing just fine outside of short boost, but that's where a lot of these races will go, unfortunately.
Especially in this upper Mawkin bracket.
Permission to ban short boost, Admiral.
Permission granted.
I don't think they're gonna like that. I think they're quitting the job.
Just run space, forehead.
Forehead.
It's
5
easy.
Head move.
It's easy.
Go do space after doing short boost. 9 head. Yeah, they high-five each other as they're going in. Exception entering, yeah. Gala leaving. Gala has begun, or it will soon begin, the 3-boss gauntlet that ticks off the end of the game.
Yeah, for those aren't necessarily in the know, the 3-boss gauntlet Sat's referring to is a red Chozo soldier right here for the power bombs, a golden elite Chozo soldier right before Ravenbeak head into Itarash, and then Ravenbeak himself in Itarash. So very stressful 3 bosses in a row for this run in general, not just the category for the run, Hundo and any percent alike.
You'll see Gala using storm missiles, which is the first time we're seeing them used in combat. It's also kind of the only time we ever see them used in combat, except for core X's. Storm missiles do an insane amount of damage on the warriors for some reason, so we look to use them at every opportunity. Especially to skip certain things, such as the shield phases on phase 1. As we see Exception getting ready to tackle SQ. Looks like he's going to be just fine here. Goes for the cross-bomb screw method for the two-phase kill, and misses it.
This is the method that I go for.
We need to update everyone's playbook.
What are you trying to say, Sat?
Hey, listen.
Are you calling me a boomer?
Yes.
It's okay. I am a boomer with a lot of mustrats.
We're gonna see Gala using power bombs before entering the rooms here. That's because power bomb charging resets when you room transition for some reason.
Gala does not get power bomb scammed, which is a very good look to see.
He actually does a strat that I'm thinking about stealing.
Gets the full speed keep right here. I'm still having trouble getting that fully down.
So to avoid getting 0 power bombs, he gets another chance by defeating a robot before he lays his first power bomb.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're gonna see him enter the Gold Warrior here. Same basic game plan as the Red Warrior. Use missiles and storm missiles where you can.
Meanwhile, Exception in the Ferenian Twins.
Oh no, Gala just lost a ton of DPS. He let go of all the storms. I'm trying to follow both fights.
Yeah, Exception makes it through the Twins. Will now be heading to Space Jump. Meanwhile, Gala is just finishing up the Elite Chosen Soldier. He will be heading up to Itarash to face Ravenbeak now.
I think Gala would need to guide a Ravenbeak 6 or 7 times if he wants.
I really like Exception's strat here to go for, because this door will close and seal you in if you're not quick enough to get out of it. So I really like the speed booster into the flash ifs out.
Because of the bonks and the fact that you have to start the speed booster, it is slightly slower, but it removes nearly all the stress, since you can just hold back and mash A to leave.
Exactly. And as we all know, with my boomer strats, I am a prime advocate of slower but safer strats.
Gala looking like he's approaching a fantastic time.
Yeah, Gala has been on a very fantastic pace for the entirety of this run.
So, barring any freak accidents here, I'm pretty sure this race is concluding very soon.
Yeah, this is
very well
a done deal.
But like I'll say this for the last time. There is no knock against Exception here. He is also a very strong runner. Short Boost just claimed another victim today.
Exactly. Like Sat said, Exception has had a very good run aside from his short boost attempts.
So we're going to see Gala here do a Storm Missile Gold Skip. Gold Skip is just a term for skipping a gold phase where Ravenbeak takes no damage in phase 1, mashes his heart out and manages to skip the gold phase here.
Yeah, the gold phase of Ravenbeak, if you end up missing it, will lose anywhere between 18 and 30 seconds, kind of just dependent on RNG. So
on the other side of things, Exception is handling the purple EMMI kill quite well, has better accuracy than Gala, and takes the jump over looking for the plant kill variation. Oh no. Oh, well, looks like he's fine.
Exception's missing some Gala is missing some missiles in this phase 2 Ravenbeak fight.
Yeah, Gala has enough missiles for it to matter significantly less, but now he still has to beam his art out for a little bit. Entering phase 3, gets opened by a Shine Spark. Not really what you want to see. Oh, this
counter.
This will take.
That's some good RNG though on phase 3. Ordinarily, counters at the start of phase 3 or right here are good to take. Any other counter animation that Ravenbeak gives you though will be losing time.
Yeah, the ice missiles and the counter for phase 3 aren't nerfed as significantly as they would normally be. So they do a phenomenal amount of damage. And just like that.
Yeah, and that's that counter. Yeah, very good Ravenbeak fight from Gala. Meanwhile, Exception will be heading out of Ferenia now to head up to Hanubia for the end of the game gauntlet. Yeah, Twitch Mobile is scuffed. It's okay. Gala now on RBX. Charging up the Hyper Beam to get out of the escape.
You'll notice that Gala started charging the beam slightly later, 6 steps made by our RBX. This is because if you start charging at the beginning, RBX actually slows down when you're hitting him with the Hyper Beam, so it's unnecessary to hit him for that long.
Not only is it 6 steps, it's 6 steps, but there's also a very good visual cue that you can use as well.
For sure. Looks like they're about to be high-fiving each other very soon, which is something you usually don't see, except in trams or teleporters. Yeah, so Gala is actually passing through exception on the top.
Yeah, they're not even going to be able to high-five each other. Now, this run from Gala in a race setting is absolutely insane.
I think he's on PB pace.
Yeah.
Going for the R-Candy speed key for the escape here. Let's see if he connects it all the way. Just
almost,
barely misses.
Almost, yeah. That arc spark is very difficult, so kudos to Gala.
Looks like Gala's about to claim a time somewhere within 120-ish. Unless he nails everything, it's going to be a 119 if he nails the skeet. Very close.
111 and 20 seconds. Very good job from Gala.
And Gala is the winner of this race. I just can't help but feel bad about short boost for exception.
Yeah,
however.
the short boost was just such a volatile trick. Now getting slightly power bomb scammed.
Yeah, so this is what Gala was able to avoid on his end. The robots didn't drop any power bombs for exception, so he has to sit there and farm again. And before we get into post-game interviews, I think it would be fitting to wait for exception to conclude his run.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was really well fought by him. He continues to try his best even through. Yep. Just like Antidote says in chat, short charge beat. Well, I don't even know if I can say that on live, so I won't, but short boost. Just ignore it and just focus on the quality of run that Exception was able to display today. Phenomenal run on his end.
Yeah, very good run.
Makes quick work of the gold Chozo. And now he's going to be heading up to Ravenbeak to fight RB for the last time today. Well, not today. There are more matches after this, but... Oh, you know what's interesting? On the French screen, instead of saying times defeated, it says game over.
You know, same thing.
Oh, really? Same thing? Got another chance to see RB manipulation. Laying the power bomb before we enter, because like we said earlier, entering a room transition will remove the prime duration for the power bombs. Calm before the storm here.
Great way to put that. Fortunate from I think the swipes right here are the worst possible opening for Ravenbeak.
The swipes are the best if you go for the crossbomb Stormlock version, but if you're doing 9+1, which is what Exception is doing, then swipes are slightly less favorable.
For those who are wondering, 9+1 is a method where you hit 9 missiles to trigger. It's a manipulation on Ravenbeak where you want to trigger his melee counter twice.
You can only do damage to Ravenbeak to send them to phase 2 during a melee counter. If you can't mash fast enough to get through the gold skip in one attempt, then you have to have 2. So 9 plus 1 is the natural answer.
It's a little bit slower, but it does guarantee you're gonna get gold skip.
Exception has 2 more missiles than Gala here to deal with Ravenbeak because he unfortunately picked up the yellow TP missile tank. So he should have slightly less trouble having to deal with Ravenbeak here. Most device strategies do with the right side of the arena, but I think Exception had some difficulty there. Oh, and he's low on health.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to tank any more of these hits.
All good, though. He phases and gets the health back. RB opens with Cannon here. This is one of our favorite attacks because he's just there doing literally nothing.
Hits a black hole.
Yeah, so Exception is not trying to get
with my preferred method, the spin and hit. Good job not taking the melee or the counter animation.
Ravenbeak should be wrapping up very soon. I think like 2 more missiles, 3 more missiles, 4, 5. My bad, 7.
A little bit of a slower phase 3 fight because of the RNG that Ravenbeak gave, but still all in all a good fight.
During the escape here, or I guess the RBX cutscene first into the escape. One last moment of silence for Bird Dad. The other Bird Dad, not this one.
The other one.
You ever think about what the Hyper Beam tastes like?
You know, Sat, I can't say that I do.
Well, like, doesn't it look like it tastes like Christmas?
Sure.
What? Red cranberry.
Red cranberry, interesting.
Oh man, Exception heading through the escape. The last bit between him and the end of the game. Unfortunately, I'll be being dropped into the losers bracket.
Yeah, but that's again, it's kind of not
yeah, it's just
not a disappointing one, you know. Like I think besides the short boost, Exception can be very proud of this run.
For sure. Hoping that he gets better success in the losers bracket. Thankfully, we are much unlike some other tournaments. Double bracket.
Excuse me.
Yeah, world. Oh no. Losing here does not necessarily mean losing forever. We can make a deeper bracket run in losers. So props to Exception for sticking through and finishing the run. We're about to wrap everything up.
Who drops the space jump? Hopefully it doesn't matter.
Oh no. Oh. Ends up being fine. With a 118-17. I almost couldn't read numbers there.
Very good run from both runners, though. Very, very entertaining run.
For sure, for sure. We're gonna see if we can get Exception here for the post-game interview with Gala. Give him some time to see if he wants to join. All right, now we've got both runners in. So I think I'm going to start by congratulating both of you for completing your runs, more so on the side of Exception, who in the face of great adversity stuck through and gave his best.
Yeah,
how do you guys feel about your runs?
Very great run from both of you guys.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about your runs?
It was a great run, you know, with the nerves. So the early game was really bad. And when I got to through attack, I was like, okay, freedom, and it was all good.
Freedom is exactly how we
Yeah,
feel
for real.
regarding short boost. Unfortunately for exception, claimed another victim the short
Yeah.
boost trick. So I'm really sorry about that, my man.
Yeah, my short boost was anything but short. I feel like I got it about 4 times and it just kept storing too early.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like you got scammed.
Yeah, you were like a frame too early on one of them, on a couple of them. One of them I think was a frame too late. But you were very, very close on a lot of those attempts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, not a great run for me. I have not done a 118 in quite a while. I think early game was fine, but it all went downhill after I got Gravity Ball and bad yellow enemy spawn at the same time, which wasn't fun.
Oh, I
Hey, at
didn't
least you
notice
parried it.
Gravity Ball.
I mean,
Yeah, but
I
at least you
parried
did
at
parry
least.
it. That was very, very well done. Yeah, the early game for both of you guys was very close. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, you guys were neck to neck for pretty much everything until Adam skip, and then even after Adam skip, I think exception had it in 2 and Gala had it in 5. So that brought things back again, and then the I think the biggest part where the gap started to considerably widen was Kraid.
Kraid and then short boost, yeah.
Yeah. Seeing a lot of the newer strats from Gala, I will tell you right now, Gala, I am studying your run and I'm stealing like half the things that you do that I don't, because they're sick. And exception as well. Once again, like this isn't just a congratulations for finishing the run; it's another congratulations for continuing to play. I know that events like that can be heavily dispiriting, so just want to give you major props,
Yeah.
my man.
Absolutely, big kudos to you.
How do you guys feel about your prospects going further into the bracket?
It's against B-Dog, so
Oh, good luck.
What's that supposed to mean? That's it? Come on.
it's at the same time a dream and a nightmare. So
Well put.
For those not in the know, yesterday B-Dog hit up the world record.
yeah. So,
Yeah, B-Dog currently
it's
has world
gonna be
record
real
for this
difficult.
category.
How about you, Ix? I'm not sure how the structure for the lower bracket is looking like, but
I'll have to take a look too. I was definitely expecting to lose this one. I do think I was on a step higher than I am. I was hoping it wouldn't make the gap this wide, but it is what it is. But I'll be back in loser's bracket, and I'll definitely make a better showing. That's for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, we love to hear it.
All right. That being said, you want to sign us off, or should I?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Thank you everyone for watching this race between Gala and Exception. I know there are other races going on between Kaku and Jay at the moment, so try to hit them up as well. Thank you everyone so much for tuning into this stellar race. We will see you next mission.